Hey, how you doing? This is Tommy here from Trading with Harmony. So I hope you're all having a great week. So this has been another great week this week, hitting lots of our targets as been predicted from last week. So guys, if this is your first time on this channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give the thumbs up and leave your comments. And I'll see you straight after the intro. Thanks. Alrighty then, so we can see here then actually the euro dollar. So it's after breaking this here right at this point here, yeah. So we can see that actually price has gone past this here now. So it's a good early indication that the actual euro dollar is back into the bull mode, yeah. So okay, let's go into the 4 hour. So this week then we can see here that we were at this point down here. Last week we were there, and it hit our TP1 being the 1.1520 and hit our TP2 being the 1.1606. So guys, if you're on that, that's great, well done. Okay, so let's see for the coming weeks. And so it's I'm looking for a deep kind of pullback here in this area actually. But once we can see that if price breaks this kind of trend line, I'll be looking for the actual price to shoot up and hit our TP1 being the actual 1.1734, and then quite possibly we'll get a pullback and up into our TP2 for this week and beyond, being the 1.1835 in the euro dollar. Okay, so we can see here then in the pound dollar that actually at this point here back in June it attempted to try to break our previous lower high here, but so we can see here it broke it here, so that's a good indication again that actually that we can see that quite possibly that we are looking for the actual bulls are back in play again and going to be quite possibly heading further north. So okay, let's go into the 4 hour. So this week then our TP1 was hit. So last week we were down at this point here, and I was talking about a pullback into this area here being the 125.30, and then up into our actual level here. It hit our TP1, the 1.2723. So if you're on that trade, guys, well done, that's great. We picked up some nice pips. So okay, so for this week then what I'm looking for then is for price then quite possibly a bit more of a pullback into this area and then up into, or else breaking the trend line and up into the actual TP2 being the 1.2860 in the pound dollar. Okay, so let's this week then the actual bears are back in control and shot back down into actually support. So let's go into the actual 4 hour. So we can see here prices shot down. We were actually at this point here last week, and so for this week then what I'm looking for then is quite possibly what we'll get then is actually price will come back up into this area and then down into our TP1 being the 105.38. Okay, so we can see here the actual with the dollar Canadian. So we're still in the descending channel because price has been driven down further south. So let's go into the 4 hour. So in the 4 hour, we were at this point last week at here. Okay, and what I was talking about was we were looking for a break, and once we had support or then resistance here holding, that's the 1.3680. I was looking for actually price to actual come down, break this here and down to our TP1. So we hit it this week. So if you're on that trade, guys, well done. So we hit our 1.3400. Okay, so let's go and see what we're looking for this week then. So we're looking for quite possibly maybe a bit more of a pullback for a better risk reward. That would be ideal, but if not, then we're looking for price then to come down to hit our TP2 being the 1.300. Okay, so this week then we can see here, we've been talking about this for several weeks actually. It did actually come down and hit our big actually support level here, and it just touched off it just about, and now it's coming back up again. So let's look at the actual 4 hours. So last week we were at this point here, and what I was looking for last week was for price to break over this here at the 1.8086 and then to continue up, but it actually just came into this actually trading zone and shot down and just touched that actual support line that I've been talking about for several weeks. So for this week and beyond, what I'm looking for price is to come back up into this area. And once we get a candle finishing over here in the plus, then I'm looking for price then to continue up and hit our TP1 being the actual 1.8246, and quite possibly we'll get a bit of a pullback into this area here and then up into our TP2 being the 1.8370 for this week and beyond in the pound Aussie. Okay, so the actual Euro yen, so we can see here it's actually the bulls are back in control here again, so that's great. So let's go into the 4 hour. So last week we were down at this point here, and I was talking about basically if we get a bit more of a pullback, that would be better risk reward, but we still hit our target this week, so that's great. So if you hit that, guys, well done. So we hit our 123.10. So now we can see here we got a bit of a nice pullback here. So and the bulls are back in play here. We got a big finish there on Friday evening there, and it's actually with a big engulfing candle, right? So if we can this week actually get a bit more of a pullback and then to continue up and to hit our actual TP1, this is what I'm looking for. If we can hit our TP1, which would be the 124.90 for our our new TP1, that'll be great. So let's see how it pans out. So that's what I'm looking for in the actual euro yen, and then quite possibly for this week and beyond, then if we get a bit of a pullback and then up into our TP2 being the 126.50. Okay, so gold was a really powerful this week. It shot up over 800 pips this week, so it's quite a big move this week actually. But actually, it's only around 180 actual pips away from the all-time high. So you can see here about another 180 pips. So we can see then that if we break that, then we're into a new territory. So okay, so let's go into the actual 4 hour. Okay, so last week we were down at this point here. I was talking about if we get a bit more of a pullback for risk reward, that would be great, which we did a small bit, which was great. So then it shot up and hit our target being the actual 1821, and then it just stormed up for the rest of the week basically. So it's really powerful move on gold this week. But so what I'm looking for then for this week then is we can get a pullback into this area, the 1861 area, and then a actual move up into our new TP1 being our 1919. This is what I'm looking for this week, and quite possibly if we break that, then we're into new territory, and we'll see how it goes for this week then. Okay, so that's in gold, guys. Okay, so the Dow then we can see here that it's actually hitting a lot of these. So we can see here the actual resistance here. We got support here. We got We got resistance, broke the support, right? So it's hitting these areas here this week. So there's a lot of actually support and resistance at this specific point, yeah. So let's go into the actual 4 hour. So okay, so last week we were down at this point here. It came up and hit our TP1 being the 27050. So that's great, guys. If you're in that, that was a nice move for this week. So what I'm looking for then is for price to get a bit of risk reward to back down into our ascending channel support area being the 26170 area, and then up into our TP2 being the 27460 in the Dow, guys. Yeah. So okay, guys, so that's another great week then. So a minimum of 775 pips this week, guys. So if you picked some of them picks, well done, guys. That's great stuff. All right. So don't forget, guys, to subscribe to the channel, and the guys that have already done it, thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate that for helping to grow in the channel. That's really great. Appreciate that. And guys, have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week. So take care.